Not every single Whiteboard Wednesday video is going to be complaining about content, complaining about gameplay, or complaining about toxic people. Today I'm taking you back to the pure joy of when you first played a Pokemon game. Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Silver, Gold, Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Then I start to lose track. There's been a lot of games. Today we're going to talk about something really interesting, and it's how SDS and MLB The Show can steal something from Pokemon of all things to just add something kind of cool to the game. Full disclaimer, this is not my idea. I agree with it wholeheartedly, and maybe there are some points here that I might have emphasized a little larger than my friend Scotty who came up with it. You see Scotty in the comments all the time, and if you come hang out on Twitch, you see him there. This is Scott's idea, and I'm just the mouthpiece. I'm just the pretty face delivering the information. Please call me pretty. Ladies and gentlemen who are new here, welcome to Whiteboard Wednesday. It's the MLB The Show content series that doesn't feature any gameplay in your eyeballs. It's all about me, this whiteboard, these markers, and some nonsense. We talk a lot of nonsense here, but we have some fun. Hopefully sometimes there's some knowledge, and maybe we can come up with some cool ideas like this one. So in the Pokemon games, after you beat the Elite Four and then the champion, you get enshrined in the Hall of Fame. You talk to Professor Oak, you know, that guy who's magically yelled at you the entire time for trying to ride your bike inside of a house, and he tells you, congratulations, let's now enshrine you and your Pokemon team forever. There's this cool little cutscene. It's not really cool, it's not really a cutscene, but there's this cool little thing where you do this little twirly gig roundabout thingy, and you see all your Pokemon, all their levels, and how they helped get you there. I think MLB The Show could have a pretty similar mode. No, there wouldn't be Pokemon, and Professor Oak certainly wouldn't be there. I'd be concerned if he was. But MLB The Show has their own Professor Oak type of mascot, and his name is Coach. Maybe we can use him. The MLB The Show version of this mode would be called Cooperstown. Why? Because that's where the Hall of Fame is, and that's essentially what this concept is. The Cooperstown mode is a cool way for you to collect all of your in-game accomplishments in one place. How many times have you gone flawless in BR, made a World Series run, maybe got 12 wins in events, and then maybe a couple days later, or even a couple weeks later, tried to recollect who was on the team? I know for BR this would be especially cool and useful if I could go back and see my exact team and roster, maybe a box score for the last game. It's right there. It's just pinned here in Cooperstown, enshrined for eternity, for generations, or just you to see forever. It could also be fun. Maybe they could create a cool little team picture from your team that made the World Series. I don't know. There's gotta be a ton of cool options here just to add something extra. No, this is not a playable mode. No, this doesn't really add any actual value or play time to the game. But it's a cool little quality of life thing, and quality of life is important in games like this when they keep getting more staler and more staler and stalest and staliest by the year. Don't worry, all of you people out there who don't consider yourself incredibly competitive players. Not everybody can make World Series, or go flawless, or even get 12 wins in events, and that's fine. This is not a judgment zone. We're not talking about creating some sort of hierarchy for only the best to get into the Hall of Fame. So we can extend this to offline too. Might as well, right? If you win a mini-seasons title, you have a spot in Cooperstown. If you finish the USA Conquest map, let's make that an accomplishment, because we all know it is. It's very long and very, very draining and taxing on your mental. Put it in there. If you have any other ideas, let me know. We can put them in Cooperstown too. My version of Cooperstown would also have a stats wing in it. And this is my favorite part. I think scrolling through personal stats in MLB The Show is annoying. You have to pull up every player's individual card, you gotta turn it to the back, there's just a lot that goes into it. And it's never collected in a great place. What if we made something like this that can list every statistical accomplishment you've ever achieved in one spot? This would be the absolutely ultimate, complete mode for you to look at all of your stats. You could list who had 4 home run games for you. It could be offline, online, in between. I don't even know what that means. You could, who threw a no-hitter for you? Who threw a perfect game? You can even then link directly back to the box score. You can get the time, the date, the opponent, everything. One spot. You don't have to search for it, write it down, remember it ever again. You can just find it here. And then my favorite part, at least I think my favorite part, would be career leaders page. Who had the most hits for you in MLB The Show 23? Who hit the most home runs? Who had the best single individual game in terms of extra base hits? How many home runs they hit? Did someone go 6 for 6? Did someone have 10 RBIs? You can find all of it right here in one place in perpetuity. Consider it a trip down memory lane. One of my favorite things to do in Pokemon when I'm bored, even today, still as a 30-year-old, don't judge me, is to go back and look at who my Hall of Fame teams were. Who helped carry me to championhood and victory. I want to see those. I know my first World Series team in MLB The Show 23 definitely wasn't loaded with 99s. It probably had some guys on there who were just helping me get by. Kind of like early in Pokemon, when you have like a level 76 Venusaur. If you were smart, you chose Charmander or Squirtle. Regardless, Pokemon like that, maybe they helped you get there. I want to remember them forever. Not just in my heart, but in my mind. This was admittedly a pretty short Whiteboard Wednesday, but that'll do it. Sometimes we don't have a lot to say. We just have a cool idea to present to you guys, and let SDS take the wheel. I hope you guys enjoyed this idea. Again, shout out to Scott, friend of the channel, for coming up with a really cool concept. Scott loves to go through stats just like I do, and sometimes it can be a pain to find them all. Not with the Cooperstown mode, though. You'll have everything you need in one place.